And in the end, as the darkness takes me, I am nothing.
Greetings and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and you creatures of the fifth dimension. Darth Revan here, peace of the lie. And here, I was sitting here this morning thinking, what shall I do with no voice? Because this morning I seem to have an infection in my throat, and I can't talk. That's why my voice is so messed up. So I have to talk in this really odd tone. I apologize. I do. I am so sorry. But the point is, I was sitting here thinking, oh, 5 minutes. I could make a word wall. No problem. I'll make a word wall showing off how easy it would have been for Disney to insert that into Rogue One, because it is a major movie that needs to be shown in series with the rest of the Star Wars movies. If it's going to be in between the prequels and A New Hope, it will need a word wall, especially if it's a full-length movie. Now, I was sitting here, just looking at examples. This is the one from A New Hope. I wouldn't look at this one. This is The Force Awakens, all 7. No, not looking at that. I'm looking right here. And I'm reading this for the first time in probably maybe a year or so, you know. Because when it scrolls through, I only read this probably the first time I ever saw it. And then after that, I just relied on the storytelling, the excellent storytelling of George Lucas, to fill in the gaps. And I didn't even need this. But it's here for those who are first-time watchers, so they can get at least a good stepping stone of where they're at in the story. Anyway, let me read this for you. During the battle, rebel spies managed to steal the secret plans to the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star, an armored space station with enough power to destroy an entire planet. Scroll down here. Pursued by the Empire's sinister agents, Princess Leia races home aboard her starship, custodian of the stolen plans that can save her people and restore freedom to the galaxy. Now, what does it say here? Does it say Leia was at the battle? Does it say Leia ran off with the plan? No. It says that Leia got the plans and she was pursued by the Empire's sinister agents. See, this is where I will propose an ending. I already told you my ideal ending for Rogue One. But I will propose another ending that would have worked just as well and would have allowed them to do some of the things in the movie, in Rogue One. See, I'm not against Rogue One entirely. I would like it to work. I really want Star Wars The Force Awakens, the Rogue One. I want them to work. I want them to exist within the Star Wars universe and be a real thing, to fit, to restore, to put more and more context into the canon, so that the story grows and expands, since they've destroyed the expanded universe and declared it all non-canon. This is the only thing they can do to make up for that. But they're not doing this. They're completely disregarding what's being said right here in the first, 54 seconds? 54 seconds into A New Hope. Anyone who has watched Rogue One will be confused. This is the problem for any parent or family member or anyone who wants to watch the movies for the first time in order. If you don't watch them out of order, it will be hard to understand what the hell is going on. Because from Episode 3 to Rogue One, you're not going to have anything. You're not going to know any of this. And when you see the Death Star, Darth Vader, and all the cameos, now they don't fit properly. They should have not been shown as, actual cameos. They should have been shown as, this is the first time you're being introduced to this person. That's what they should have been. But no, they're shown as cameos. And you're not going to know who these people are. And for the first-time watchers, you're like, oh, well, who hasn't seen Star Wars? Like, look, even though it's a pop culture icon, there are plenty of people out there. I have friends myself who have never seen Star Wars. I've tried to get them to watch Star Wars. They're just not interested. I'm sitting here, and now I am livid. I'm having a real trouble keeping my voice down, because if I raise my voice, I will probably lose it. Right here, we have a complete disregard for A New Hope. Completely disregarding it. 54 seconds in, and I've already found the problem. It's right here. See, Leia was not at the battle. It doesn't say she was at the battle. There's no reason to put her into the battle. If you want her cameo, simply have her receive the plans on the way to Tatooine, or maybe while she just arrived at Tatooine, and then receive the Death Star plans, while still on Tatooine, trying to find Obi-Wan, trying to get him to come back with them. Darth Vader arrives in his Star Destroyer, and thus, pursued by the Empire's sinister agents, Princess Leia races home because she's now leaving Tatooine because she can't find Obi-Wan, and rushes off home trying to get the plans back to her people, but is unfortunately interdicted by Darth Vader's Star Destroyer. It's right here. It's right here in golden freaking letters how wrong and how completely disregard. No, that's not right. That's not how you say it. It's right here in golden letters how much they disregard the original story and George Lucas's vision for it. I'm gonna leave that last part in there. I'm just not gonna edit it out. I messed up. I'm sick and tired this morning. Okay, I'm sorry. But right here, it's clear as day how much Star Wars is being distorted by feminist propaganda. It's not being made for the sake of the story. If they were trying to make it for the sake of the story, they would make all of their movies fit together as best as possible. But here we see clearly that they disregard all concepts of story continuity to simply push their agenda and make a woman lead in every movie. I don't have a problem. Not a single problem do I have with Star Wars having female leads. Princess Leia is freaking awesome. Let's see, oh dang it, Padme. Yes, Padme. Padme is freaking awesome. There is no time in Star Wars where women have been excluded or not shown as strong, capable warriors. Because, hey, Padme was one heck of a fight. I mean, you see her in the pit fights on Geonosis. She holds her own. Of course, she needs help from her Jedi companions and lover. Of course. But she's more than able to give that one creature, I forget what it's called, but she's more than able to give it a run for its money. And that's like a vicious predator from a world of nasty man-eating plants. Lucia, that's where that thing's from. And she's more than able to give it a run for their money. So there's no time where people, even black people, because Samuel L. Jackson played freaking Mace Windu. So what's the point? Why are you forcing it now? It doesn't need to be forced. Introduce them however you like. Introduce Asians. Introduce other different cultures. Go ahead. I don't have a problem. The problem I have is when you force them in. When you force them to be the character you want them to be. When you force them to be a Mary Sue with all force powers and all mechanical know-how, with all piloting skills, able to fly the Millennium Falcon single-handedly. Or even... You see, this just makes no sense. None of this makes any sense. None of this is connecting Star Wars. None of this is growing the fan base. None of this is connecting fans together. See, the thing about Star Wars is, this is what I loved so much about Star Wars. What I loved about Star Wars was not just the story, was not just the characters, it was the community I got out of it. It was the friends I made, sitting around, shooting the breeze, picking up sticks, vroom, 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 the Force, I am your father. See, that's what Star Wars was. Star Wars was a source of community, of connections, of friendships made. And now, it's tearing friendships apart. It's ruining the fan base by dividing it between two canons. Those like myself who decide to stick with the extended universe and see that as our canon, and those who are moving over to Disney's canon and want to see that become proper canon. The problem with Disney's canon is not made with love, it's made with a political agenda. And it's not being made to bring people together. It's being made to make money and to push an agenda. Many people say they don't see it. I personally see it as clear as the nose on my face that this is what Disney is doing. And how much, and right here, I have irrefutable proof of how much they disregard the original movies. Because if any of them had sat down and watched the original movies again, and read through everything, paid attention to every little detail of the movie, they would have seen how that last scene where Leia goes and is at the battle and rushes off with the plans, how much that breaks the original Star Wars. The original intro to Star Wars. How much it makes Leia look either A, retarded, or... See, it totally makes Leia look stupid. And they made Darth Vader look stupid as well. When he force-choked that director guy, again, I still don't know the names of the characters in Rogue One, but when he force-choked him and said, "Don't choke on your ambitions," I was cringing so hard. Like, oh, that's not what Darth Vader would say. That's not what Darth Vader would say. That's not even... No, he wouldn't even do that. Oh, no. And let me just touch on this point really quickly before I go. Some people say that that last scene with Darth Vader in the hall, which I personally say was in his glory, killing rebels. Personally, I understand how poorly Darth Vader is portrayed. Yes, not portrayed. Portrayed in this movie. I see how badly they messed up with his character. How much they didn't nail down his intimidating aspect. How freaking terrifying Darth Vader was. They didn't nail that down. What they got was Darth Vader making some snotty remark to a low-level director who he would not even give the time of day to, really. And the fact that he was there killing rebels, that's... The point is, Darth Vader is a terror weapon, first and foremost. He's supposed to be terrifying, not... You shouldn't think of him like, ugh, Darth Vader, what are you doing here? You should think, oh crap, Darth Vader is in the room. Someone's gonna die. That's what you should think, not that, oh, it's just Darth Vader. When those rebels were terrified and running away, it was Darth Vader in his glory. It was Darth Vader portrayed as he was supposed to be portrayed. Not quite, because he's above killing rebels. He is above it. If you watch A New Hope, let's see how much of the intro scene we got here. This is actually the intro scene here. Okay, this is quite a bit. Alright, good. Let's take a look here. Scroll to the part where... Oh, here we go. We got the battle. We got the stormtroopers pushing forward, you know. And then... No, a little further. A little further. Oh, it's right about here. 5 minutes in. No, I passed it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There's the scene. The troopers push forward, and then... Oh. Da. Hear that? I mean, you just... And that's not... He doesn't say a word, doesn't do a thing, doesn't lift a finger against the rebels. Is he above killing rebels? I think he is. I think rarely do we see him engaging in anything except engaging with a high-level officer, which we do see right here. Where's the plan? See, even here, we intercepted no transmissions. Transmissions! Oh my gosh! See, okay, I've been even on the wrong premise myself. We intercepted no transmissions, we're on a diplomatic mission. Oh, I missed that line. Oh, so they did actually receive a transmission. He's even saying, you received a transmission. What have you done with those plans? If you go to Rogue One, you will see the plans... Oh, I'm getting... Quiet down. You see the plans handed off to Leia, not transmitted. Again, showing Disney's blatant disregard for the original movie, for the original canon, for the original idea that is Star Wars. They're not doing it to make Star Wars movies, to make the fans happy. The cameos are there to trick you. Here, we clearly see that Disney and the people who are currently working on Star Wars are not at all showing any respect to Star Wars and what it means and what it was and what it's supposed to be. I reject Disney's canon. I reject everything that Disney will construct and make that has the Star Wars title on it, because it is not Star Wars. It is an evil, twisted thing that is ruining friendships, that is ruining lives. It's ruining everything that Star Wars used to stand for. Instead of a growing community, we now have a divided community. It is destroying everything. Everything is being ruined. Community was the whole purpose I loved Star Wars so much. That's why my knowledge of Star Wars, I always seeked to advance it so I could have something new to talk about with my friends who also loved Star Wars. I'm done now. My voice can't take much more of this. But I thank you guys for watching. Please understand what I'm trying to tell you here. That Star Wars needs to remain like this. This is what Star Wars needs to be. Star Wars needs to be terrifying. Vader needs to be terrifying. The rebels need to be on the run, barely holding their own. This is what Star Wars needs to be. This is what it needs to be. Stormtroopers. It needs to be this. Not what Disney is making. I thank you guys for listening to me talk, especially when I'm sick yet again. May the Force be with you, and I will catch you on the dark side.